It's a warm night in St. Louis. Great night for ice cream. And a great night to be at the ballpark. Whitey Herzog on hand here tonight. The Hall of Famer with ties to both the Kansas City Royals and the Cardinals, who square off in interleague action this weekend. Glad you're with us. We always love this series. Al Roboski, Rick Horton alongside the Royals, coming off a very good series in the last couple of days. They're a red-hot team. The Cardinals seem to have figured it out some as well. The important question is, have the Cardinals figured out some things offensively? And we're going to start out by looking at Matt Holliday.
Well, Matt Holliday took some extra hitting today to prepare for this assignment. And last June, against tonight's starter for Kansas City, Mazzaro, he was 4 for 5 with a home run. So hopefully that will be in his memory banks and he can repeat it.
Carlos Beltran has had a very good homestand. He's in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, recovering from the little bug, the flu bug and everything like that. His last game, he was outstanding. He hit the lone home run in Lance Lynn's 1-0 win and had 3 of the 4 hits, and you can see he's been hot on the homestand.
Another hot Cardinal player is their pitcher tonight, Kyle Loesch. He was outstanding in his last outing. More on him when we come back. For the Cardinals this year, he's 6-1. His last outing, he defeated the Cleveland Indians, just 3 hits in 7+ innings, hitting the corners all night long. Last time he faced the Kansas City Royals, he was equally as good, just 4 hits in that game. It came in 2009, 6 strikeouts against the Royals. He pitches game 1 here tonight. Derek Lilliquist, always teaching. Jason Mott, always learning. early this year, but are playing well of late. They enter tonight having just swept the Brewers. The last two wins featured back-to-back walk-offs. A walk-off walk on Wednesday was followed by a walk-off RBI single last night. The Royals are above 500 on the road and look to continue their climb back into the AL Central standings. Meanwhile, the Cardinals took 2 out of 3 against the first-place Chicago White Sox. Carlos Beltran continues to swing a hot bat with 3 home runs on the homestand. And David Freese coming back to life. He went deep yesterday. Cardinals pitchers have stepped up recently, and they'll hope to continue that trend tonight. The I-70 series continues. Cardinals, Royals, next on Fox Sports Midwest. Impact players on the other team. We call it 5 and 55, and our Kansas City Royals edition features some of baseball's up-and-coming stars. Here's Dan McLaughlin.
Eric Hosmer was the 3rd overall pick in the 2008 draft, and expectations could not have been higher. But so far, he's lived up to the hype. Average this year is a bit down, but the face of the franchise has shown plenty of power. And at the age of 22, he's just getting started. The other side of the infield is the other face of the franchise, Mike Moustakas. The 2nd overall pick in 2007 is 1 year older than Hosmer, and just as exciting. Like Hosmer, Moose is a lefty, and games when his uniform stays clean are extremely rare. Jonathan Broxton wasn't supposed to close this year, but when Joaquin Soria went down for the season, Broxton went back to work. He's one of the biggest closers in the game, and he's been one of the best. 15 saves and 17 chances while posting one of the league's lowest ERAs. Billy Butler is only 26, but he's one of the team's most experienced players. Since 2009, Butler has been a doubles machine. This year, though, a handful of those hard-hit balls are leaving the park, putting Butler on pace for a career year in home runs and runs driven in. It took a few years, but Alex Gordon is finally starting to tap into his potential. The 2nd overall pick in 2005 put it all together last season. Career high in home runs, RBIs, and average while bringing home a Gold Glove award. That's the Royals' version of 5 in 55.
Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. By your Mid-America Chevy dealers, the #1 selling brand in St. Louis. Find us at stlchevy.com. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. And by Steak and Shake, just no equal. Cardinals have taken the field, just about ready for play, but first things first, we'll take care of some big picture things, Al Raboski, as it relates to this series with Kansas City.
Well, Tony was at the helm of the Cardinals for 16 years, so this first time we'll be playing the Royals without Tony La Russa in interleague play. How about Carlos Beltran, Rookie of the Year while playing for Kansas City, the first team that he signed with, and this will be his first meeting against his ex-team. And of course, it's been since 2001 that we play the Kansas City Royals without Albert Pujols, who just absolutely crushed the Royals pitching in his old hometown.
Carlos Beltran, Al, getting the start in center field here in game one, so we'll see how the Cardinals outfield fares behind Kyle Loesch, and we are underway with a fastball on the outside corner. Kyle Loesch was very good in his last outing.
No doubt about it. He went for quite a while before winning that 6th ball game, and he was outstanding in that one. He went 7 2/3, only 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts against Cleveland, picking up his 6th victory.
Loesch working to Alex Gordon. 3 lefties will lead it off for Kansas City here in the first. Gordon, a former first-round pick, actually the 2nd pick of the 2005 draft. Fly to left, it's carrying, back goes Holiday, and it takes him all the way to the wall for out number 1. So that's how this series gets underway. Gordon, Getz, and Hosmer will be 1, 2, 3 for Ned Yost. Then Jeff Francoeur, the former Brave and New York Met. Mike Moustakas, very good young talents. The third baseman, Brian Pena. Alcides Escobar, Jared Dyson, and the pitcher, Ben Mazzaro, against Kyle Loesch.
Getz just returned from the disabled list today, and he is more of an offensive player. Really not great range at all as a second baseman.
And there's a bunt, the third base side. This is going to be tough play, and the backhand flip from Adams not in time. Perfectly placed bunt by Chris Getz. That's going to go as a infield hit. And here's the defense brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Holiday, Beltran, and Craig in the outfield. Descalzo getting the start at second. Green moves over to short. Freeze and Adams at the corner. And Yadier Molina behind the plate for Loesch.
Chris Getz, like we said, doesn't hit much, especially no power, so accomplished bunter. Plays perfectly. The only thing Adams could do was flip, and didn't matter who caught it on the receiving end because he had already crossed the bag. This is their star player, Ricky.
Eric Hosmer, 3rd pick of the draft in 2008. He had a big year last year, Al, 19 home runs, hit .293 as a rookie.
Got off to a very slow start, picked it up a little bit since then. Ned Yost was telling me, though, his average is not indicative of how well he's hit the ball. So he probably has at least 25 line drives that are right at someone. They're definitely building around him.
Yost in his 3rd year with the Royals. Good fastball on the outside corner from Loesch, and that's really his mode, is trying to hit those corners.
When he is on, he's nothing in the middle of the plate unless by design, either up or way down, just trying to get someone to chase it. But he lives on the corners.
Ground ball to first. Adams will tag Hosmer, who runs out of the baseline. That advance gets to second base, and he gets on a drag button, and we're going to look at that one more time. And where's his feet, Al?
See where he's out of the batter's box, and then you always will see that there are probably, when you take off, he's going to be out of the baseline also. I don't know if I've ever seen that called, though, being out of the batter's box that way.
But by the rule of the law, he should be out. Broken bat, tough play for Green. Low throw, dug out by Adams. So a good start for Kyle Loesch. Get some defense behind him. Big play. Kansas City Royals have crossed the state to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. And here's the Redbird batting order brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Descalzo, Craig, and Holiday, 1, 2, 3. Followed by Beltran playing center field here in game one. David Freese, the third baseman, swinging a very hot bat. Molina, Adams, Green, and Kyle Loesch against Vin Mazzaro. Right-hander is 13-19 in his career.
At 3 starts this year, 2-1, and he was recalled from Omaha for his second stint on May 29th. Rick, this is his third start against the Cardinals, and really can't remember him, and people say he is very forgettable.
Probably don't say that to his face, though.
No, I'm sure they don't, but pretty much a sinker slider type pitcher. They would be very happy if they got 6 innings out of him.
Has not really gone deep into games. He's pitched a little better of late. Lost his last outing to the Pirates, where he gave up 4 runs and walked 4 batters. Ground ball, backhanded play by Hosmer, and he flips to Mazzaro, and that retires Descalzo. Nice play.
Talk about Hosmer is their franchise player and noted for his bat, but he makes a fine fielding play right there. He has committed 4 errors on the year, but he saves an extra base hit with that play.
We will note throughout this series how well the Cardinals and the Royals do in the first few innings of every game, because I'd like to see the Cardinals get on top. They seem to play much better. It seems to set up the bullpen. And we've seen the Cardinals run a little bit more when they've gotten the early lead. Alan Craig will be followed by Matt Holliday here in the Cardinal first.
Of course, Kansas City's not worried about being behind. You see the Royals, what they do when they get behind, and how well the Cardinals play when they're ahead.
Hard hit to right. Back goes Francoeur. He's at the track and makes the play. Alan Craig showing his power the other way. The Royals are 12th in the American League in defense. Gordon, Dyson, and Frank Coor in the outfield. Gordon, a Gold Glove winner a year ago. Moustakas, Escobar, Jets, and Hosmer on the infield. Brian Pena and Vin Mazzaro, the battery. Dobbs, Royals defense.
Mazzaro came into this year with 35 home runs allowed in 242 innings. Matt Holliday went 4 for 5 with a home run against him, but he has not allowed a home run this year. And he's been very tough on right-handed batters. It's been 112 right-handed batters since his last home run he allowed to Mike Napoli.
The 1-2 to Holliday. Parting, keeping the ball in the ballpark, is staying out of the middle of the plate.
Right. He throws a little harder than what I thought. That last one was 95. Sometimes it takes a pitcher 3 or 4 years to kind of get tired of going up and down.
Involved in a trade with the Oakland A's. DeJesus went to Oakland. Mazzaro to the Royals, and they're just trying to build any way they can through the draft. Hard hit, and it is foul past the diving Moustakas. And as Dan McLaughlin said in our 5 and 55 piece, Moustakas hardly ever goes through a game without getting dirty, and didn't take him very long. He's a mess already.
I really like him too.
Broken bat, flare into center, and it carries all the way to Dyson. And the pitchers both benefiting from good defense in the first. It's Green, picked by Adams, and then Hosmer, the first baseman for Kansas City, with a gem of his own. Frank Coor runs one down. Good defense, no score. 3-1. Welcome back to Busch Stadium. Top of the second inning. Kyle Loesch working and throwing strike one to the young third baseman Mike Moustakas, 23 years of age, 9 homers, 29 RBIs on the season. A lot of lefties in the lineup for Ned Yost here tonight. And he takes strike 2.
Royals, just like all clubs, have had their fair share of injuries. They lost their star catcher in spring training to a knee surgery. That's Perez, Salvador Perez. He's only 21 there. He locked him up to a long-term contract. Duffy just had, one of their starters, just had Tommy John surgery. How about their closer, Soria, out with Tommy John?
And I see that Lorenzo Cain is also on the disabled list. He's a guy that was highly coveted young player. They got him from the Milwaukee Brewers. He was in AAA a lot of last year. Strikeout of Moustakas is the first for Kyle Loesch. Our first bank, first take. These clubs hooking up here tonight. The Royals have been much better since the 25th of April. 9th in baseball, 4 games over 500. The Cardinals at 20-24, not as good as they were the first 3 weeks of the season.
And you know, it's really interesting because the Royals got off to a horrendous start. They even had a 10-game losing streak before that good finish. And then the Cardinals got off to the great start, and now they've kind of hit the skids a little bit. But 2-game winning streak, you like to say they're over with that and going to build on a nice winning streak.
Ground ball to Adams. Looked very smooth on that. Takes it himself to retire Brian Pena. One other thing we'll be watching as this game unfolds is the outfield defense for the Cardinals. You got Matt Holliday in left field and Carlos Beltran getting the start for Mike Matheny in center. And Alan Craig still not moving at 100% in right field. So a lot of ground to cover out there.
But it is a good sign to see Beltran out in center. You know, coming off the flu bug, coming off a big game where he had 3 of the 4 hits and drove in the only run with his home run in the Lance Lynn 1-0 game. Escobar. Ned Yost was saying that he's trying to get him a day off like Mike Matheny did with the Cardinal shortstop.
Hard hit to right on the line. Craig on the move. He dives and he does not catch it. He smothers it. And the throw comes into second base, not in time. Good effort by Alan Craig, and he couldn't come up with it.
Can't fault that. You're right. The Cardinals feel that he's not at 100%, but they'll take him at this 75, 80%, and he didn't really show up on that. He gave a gallant effort, and good thing he keeps it in front of him. Ball just down in the zone. Good piece of hitting right there. Dives for it, misses it, but he kept it from getting behind him, and if it gets behind him, it may be an inside the Parker. So good effort.
So Escobar puts himself into scoring position, doubling to right, and he's going to try to steal third, and that won't be a problem as he got a great jump on Kyle Loesch. That'll be a stolen base for Escobar, the 42nd stolen base for the Royals. They run just about the same amount as the Cardinals run in that department.
Kyle Loesch didn't change his looks to the runner at second. He picks him. No chance for Molina. That's his 12th steal of the year.
Something unfair about that going against Yadier Molina's stolen base percentage, isn't it?
Well, a lot of times it's been steals like that against the pitcher where he has no shot.
A little ground ball. This is going to be trouble. Loesch off balance throw, not in time. Dyson runs well. Infield hit. And that's the difference between Escobar being at second and Escobar being at third. Able to score on that little number.
Exactly right. Ned Yost was telling me about Dyson, just phenomenal steal. But here's the steal, and now just a little swinging bunt, and it produces a run. Good play by Loesch, but the speedy Dyson has no shot Ed Yost was telling me that Dyson scored from third base recently on a pop-up to the shortstop. And he also was part of the winning run in last night's game where they caught Pena trapped between first and second, and Dyson was on third base and came on home with the winning run. Weeks had a little trouble with exchange, and
Dyson has 10 stolen bases of his own.
The Royals feel a little chipper about themselves. They played better baseball on the road, but they swept at home Milwaukee, and then the last two games were walk-off varieties. Late inning comeback.
Oh, 0-2 to the pitcher, Mazzaro. Dyson, the runner at first. Loesch checks on him there. You know, we talk a lot about why we don't like to see people bunt with 2 outs and nobody on. Escobar attempted a bunt, didn't work. Then he hits a double, which is what his job should be, to get himself in the scoring position for Dyson, which ends up leading to a run. That's the old school way.
Helped manufacture that run, didn't he?
Sure did.
Big lead.
Not going. Slider, strike 3. Second strikeout for Kyle Loesch. But the Royals draw first blood. For the Cardinals, and he's also one of 4 Kansas City Royal Rookie of the Year award winners.
Lou Piniella, the very first year of the expansion Kansas City Royals, won it. Bob Hamlin, he didn't really have a long career at all. Bill Perot.
Beltran sure has had a nice career. You have to put him up there with a small group when you think of the best switch hitters, the most complete switch hitters of all time. And a base hit for Beltran. First ball hitting here in the second.
And he's hot.
His average climbing back close to 300, and he might get there with that base hit.
He did, 301.
Or you do math fast.
I do math very quickly.
Put that abacus away.
Little breaking ball that just came back to the middle of the plate. Very nice controlled swing. Line drives. All over the place. 6-time All-Star, soon to be 7. 3-time Gold Glove winner. And he's back out in center field.
And he has 6 stolen bases in 8 attempts.
Needs one more. Make a little history too. But David Freese made a little history last night as he had some fun with his 13th home run and 3 RBIs.
Freese trying to go the other way. He does a great job of that. Beltran now with an 8-game hitting streak, 13 for 27 during that time.
It's 11 for 20 on the homestand.
And you mentioned the stolen bases. Become the first switch hitter ever to have 300 home runs and 300 stolen bases with the next bag that he steals. Not going here. Fastball low.
Okay, the 8th overall and first switch hitter. Just goes to show you that a rare feat. It's a combination of speed and power.
Freese 7 for his last 15, 4-game hitting streak, and you just love everything about the at-bats that he's throwing up there now. Spoils that pitch. Most notably, the fact that he's starting to go back to right center and the right side of the diamond.
Talked about yesterday, his BP, and he knew that he was feeling much better getting close as he stopped hitting balls to left field and started driving them out to center and right center. That's not what he wants to do.
Night off for Rafael Furcal. Much deserved.
Much needed.
And much needed. He had a hit in his last at bat. You mentioned in the telecast last night that's a good thing to sit on. Get a hit in your last at bat, then have a day off the next day.
And Mike wanted to rest him for several days, but just couldn't really pick the time. And when you're 0 for 23, you don't want to do it then, because then somebody thinks you're taking them out of the lineup because they're not producing. Defensively, he still was producing. And then finally, after he got the hit and broke the little slump, Mike said, okay, now it's a good time to have him take a couple, or at least one mental day off.
Mazzaro very concerned with the runner Beltran at first. What will Matheny do here? 2-2 is the count. Freese has bounced into a number of double plays and swings and misses at an off-speed pitch. Beltran faked a steal on that pitch. Our Toyota keys to the game. Vin Mazzaro, his interleague career, the numbers not very good as far as the record's concerned. 0-6 ERA average. Everything else average, but the 0-6 stands out.
And in his career coming into this year, he was 11-18 with an ERA at 5.13. This season a little better, 2-1, 3.31 right now.
He was one of those pitchers that got on the map with one outstanding year in the minor leagues. He was 12-3 in Double-A with an ERA under 2. He kind of was average before that his first couple of years, facing Molina in the Cardinals' second. And his stock just rose, and that led to him being traded eventually. And now he's in the big leagues.
He was traded with a left-hander for De Jesus. They're trying to do everything they can to, like you say, stock the roster, young position and prospects, but most of the time they want to make it homegrown.
There goes Beltran. Pitch is low. Beltran is safe at second base with stolen base number 300 in his career. Elite company for Carlos Beltran. Congratulations.
So he's now the 8th member of the 300-300 club and the first switch hitter. He's got 318 home runs, and now he's got 300 steals. So that is quite an accomplishment, and congratulations.
Matt Adams takes a fastball at the knees. Adams contributing to the Cardinals offense in the finale against the White Sox. He had a 2-run single in the 5th and really ended up being the game winner.
Cheated, Carlos. Forgot about the 3 home runs he's hit since this weekend. He's got 321 now. A little bit of a shift. Shortstop playing right behind the second base bag.
The 0-1 just misses.
I don't know if I necessarily put the shift on with Adams. I've seen several times him take a ball that's away from him and drive it out in left center. Now the third baseman maybe a little closer to the line.
Watch out, and Beltran is picked off, and he's going to have to just keep going on to third, where he's tagged out by Moustakas. A planned play. The pitcher wheels and fires. Beltran retired. Cardinals second joins a new club, and a very rare and hard membership. You look at Bonds, Mays, Rodriguez, Andre Dawson, Bobby Bonds, some of the best names in all of baseball, and Carlos Beltran now has joined that club. 300 stolen bases and over 300 home runs, and he's the only switch hitter on that list. On to the third inning. Kyle Loesch gave up a run in the second inning, a double and a base hit. He's at the top of the order. Gordon, Getz, and Hosmer. And there's a well-hit ball into the gap. It's going to one-hop the wall. A leadoff double for Alex Gordon. And that's how the third inning starts. Loesch has very good control, but he got this one up in the zone, and Gordon mentioned how good a season he had last year. University of Nebraska product, lines that into the gap, and so the Brewers threatening here in the third. So Kyle Loesch with his work cut out. Chris Getz will try to get the ball to the right side of the infield. Gordon dancing around at second, and there's another good bunt by Getz. This time Loesch has it, and he hurries the throw to Matt Adams for out number 1, but Getz does his job, and we are pleased to welcome to our booth my former teammate, good buddy Rex Hudler. He's going to join us for a couple innings here. Al Raboski is going over and bothering the folks in Kansas City right now. Rex, good to have you.
Man, Ricky, I am so thrilled to be in your booth over here now. I really hope I don't rub anything off bad on Al's seat.
Well, that probably couldn't be done.
Well, you know what? It's possible, though. But, man, what a great treat it is to be here with you and the Cardinal faithful out here, man. It's a beautiful thing being a Royals broadcaster for the first year this year, being back in the Midwest. Call the cops, Nort. This is beautiful.
It's a great job to have. Ground ball, Loesch has it, looks the runner back, and throws out Hosmer. And Rex Hudler, 261 career hitter, 56 career home runs, and I think we've got one of them. Well, let's see. Hudler at the... Oh, wait a minute.
Nort, that was you, Ricky Horton. I came off the bench to make it even worse for you. Sorry, Ricky.
Yeah, that was a changeup. Left fielder Mickey Hatcher probably should have caught that ball.
Well, you know what? I can't believe the guys in the truck found that. But, Nort, you know what? That was a pinch hit homer for my grandma. Only time she ever saw me, and I'm so glad you served it up to me, bud. Thank you.
It doesn't make me feel a lot better, let me tell you. But no. Thanks for the sentiment, though, Rex.
It's all good. It's big league ball, Ricky.
And we do have a great job talking about our favorite teams here. You're doing this work for the Kansas City Royals, and we're going to make sure we get your input about this club and how they've been playing as we go along here. And Kyle Loesch, who's had a very good season at 6-1, is trying to strand the runner Gordon at third, working to the former National Leaguer Jeff Francoeur. The 2-0 is fouled off. Francoeur is a guy we know a little bit about, but we knew he was a guy that had some pop, Rex, and also a cannon in right field. What can you tell us about how he's played this year?
You know what? He's a player who gets it, Ricky. He understands his value to his team by what he does on the field, but off the field, he's always doing something in the public and the community, and even on the field. Like, we were just in Oakland at the beginning of the year, and he bought pizzas for all the outfield section out there. He taped a $100 bill on a baseball, threw it up to him, told him to go buy the refreshments for the evening. He gets it. He wins fans. He understands it. It's baseball, and it's all about the people.
And line drives don't hurt if you're trying to win fans. An RBI base hit for Francoeur makes it 2-0 Kansas City.
Okay, now the Royals have had a hard time scoring runs, Ricky, this year. And they're actually below the Oakland A's, which is last place in the league. However, they have a knack to keep coming. This team is a young team. They impress me. Now, Frenchie takes advantage of that hanging curveball right there. But they're young, and they have energy, and they never quit. A lot of one-run games, a lot of games decided by less than 2, but still, they're doing the little things tonight in this game. What you have to do to beat a good pitcher like Loesch.
They did it in the second inning. They moved the runner over. Escobar with a stolen base that led to that run, and Getz moves the runner over here in the third inning. That's just good baseball, and you've got to have veterans that know how to play the game. This is a team that you'd have to say you characterize them as being a young, talented team, but you're going to have some veterans that show them the way.
Oh, there's no question. Now, you look at Gordon, their left fielder. He's got 4 years in. Billy Butler, he's a veteran with 4 or 5 years in. These are guys that aren't exactly 10-year veterans, but guys that the younger players are looking up to. They've got to set the tone. Tell them how to take BP. How do you run the bases? How do you take your leads off a third? It's important that these things are done on a daily basis.
Hard hit to Descalzo. He has it on the backhand, and he throws out Moustakas. But the Royals strike again. We're going to try to find a way to get Rex Hudler some more energy when we come back. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by MyKiaSt.Louis.com. Right now at Jack in the Box, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. And find a helpful servicing steel dealer near you. Visit steeldealers.com. Kids cooling off at City Gardens, 90-degree temperatures in St. Louis. And Jeff Francoeur keeping the Royals hot. RBI base hit in the third inning, extending the Royals' lead to 2-0. Game one of a three-game series. We're joined for a few innings by Rex Hudler, former Cardinal. This could be a base hit for Adams. Going to be a tough play, and bang, bang play, and he beats it out. Ball just eludes the pitcher Mazzaro, and Matt Adams has himself an infield hit.
Yep, you're right, Ricky. We'll take that, but still, the fact that it's 90 degrees here at Busch Stadium with a grass field, it was nothing. Are you kidding? We used to play out here where the carpet was here. It was 120 on every day during BP. Now, day games, it was dangerous. So to me, it's a beautiful afternoon for ball right here.
Yeah, you bet. You brought it every day too, Rex, and you became a fan favorite here in St. Louis with your style of play. And you were talking about the Kansas City Royals having to learn from some of their players how to play the game right, and they have to rely on the Butlers and Gordons, who've been around 4 or 5 years. Who are some of the Cardinal players that you relied on? Another base hit up the middle. This time it's Tyler Green, and he gets a hit in his first at-bat. The Cardinals have their third hit and a couple runners aboard here in the third. So who are the players that really showed you how to play this game?
Well, Ricky, it started back when I was a young 22-year-old Yankee. I was with the New York Yankees, and Dave Winfield, Ken Griffey, Roy Smalley, Phil Niekro. It was a veteran-laden team. It had all veterans, and it's Mr. Steinbrenner never used any young players to come up. But I got a call up, and Dave Winfield spent a lot of time with me and gave me some of the best advice ever. He said, Hud, you're one thing's guaranteed a ball player. You're going to be an ex-ball player.
Right.
So you better start doing some little things here. You better start keeping your hands out.
Well played defensively, as a very aggressive defense ends up with a double play as the third baseman Moustakas charged on Kyle Loesch, and he bunted it right to him. Not really a bad bunt, just very well defended by the Royals.
And you got an arm like Escobar? Check out Escobar. Okay, he's going to go, this is called the wheel play. Third baseman charges, he's going to make the force at third. But Escobar has a great arm, and look at him, rifles across the diamond to get Loesch. Little things like what we're seeing in this game is what the Royals are going to have to do to win, Ricky. Little things to execute, but they have an exciting defense. They've got good young players out there. Escobar, in his second year, he's already being talked about as a future Gold Glover. So they've got the talent here, no question about it. Let me finish my story about Dave Winfield. Winnie said, Hud, you got to do the little things. Stick your hands out and shake hands around with people here. You're not gonna, and I've seen you play, you ain't going to be here long. You need to always be aware that you're going to need a job when you're done. And man, I didn't realize I was going to play another 15 years, but he was right. When that time came and I had to hang up the uniform after 38 years old, it's time to go home. And by golly, God blessed me with an opportunity to broadcast games for the Angels. So I went right from the playing field to the broadcast booth. And Nort, it's really fun to come up here and share with the people the love of the game and how hard it is to play it.
It certainly is, and that's something that we certainly have to stay in tune to, where we see the game, our vantage point, because it looks a lot easier here, and it certainly looks a lot easier on television to actually hit a fastball or to hit a slider coming in at 88 miles an hour with some break on it is just, well, it's tough to do.
How about tracking a ball in the outfield? Man, the players make it look easy, but you take a typical fan out there, even a Sunday afternoon baseball guy, it's pretty easy when you look at it on TV, but when you get out there, it's a whole different ball game.
Curveball misses away.
Ricky, I know we got 2 outs, but who are some of the guys that helped you when you were a young player?
Bob Forsch, first one that comes to my mind.
God rest his soul. Bob, love Bob Forsch. Why did he help you?
A wonderful Cardinal. He just helped me in learning how to prepare for a game, learning how to attack a hitter, learning how to act like a professional on the road. 1-2 to Descalzo. The Cardinals trailing 2-0. Descalzo bounced out his first plate appearance. And the Cardinals trying to take advantage of the leadoff hits, but the very good defensive play by Kansas City as the Cardinals batting with 2 outs. The 2-2 fouled at the plate.
Now, Nort, when the White Rat traded for me in '90, early in the season in 1990 from the Expos, I came over here and was like totally overwhelmed with the greatness in the clubhouse. Ozzie Smith, Vince Coleman, Terry Pendleton, Willie McGee. I was like, wow, and I competed against those guys for 2 or 3 years in the National League, and now I'm on their team, and they all were looking at me kind of funny because I was a hard-nosed ball player, but it sure was neat to be able to see and learn from them and how they went about their daily work.
Ball gets away from Pena, and Tyler Green will advance.
But I'll never forget Terry Pendleton when Joe Torre came on, and Pendleton had been playing third base, Gold Glove style for his years with the Cardinals. He benched Pendleton and put Todd Zeile at third because they were rebuilding. And Terry Pendleton, the class act that guy was. He didn't cause any problem, didn't throw a stink. He sat in that dugout and cheered for his guys, and I thought that showed extreme professionalism. And I learned from that. I said, man, this guy's got class. And so you can learn from every guy out there, whether they're failing or they're losing, how to handle it.
Absolutely. Full count to Descalso.
This guy Descalso, I like him. I'm surprised early his uniform's not dirty, but he seems to me like a scrappy ball player. Is he, Nort?
It'll happen. He's not afraid to get his jersey dirty. He also has an innate ability to make the smart play. And he's talking about players that just know how to play the game. Daniel Descalso certainly like that. Very heady ball player.
But fouling off pitches like this is good. You want to keep fouling off those borderline pitches until he gives you the cookie. Now, Nort, we saw a cookie you gave me earlier.
Yeah, thanks for going back to that.
I had to because I only hit 56 in my one-chapter book. Most guys have a book. I mean, Mark McGwire has an encyclopedia with home runs.
Glad to be in your book.
But 50, I have a chapter. 55 of them scraped the back of the fence. And I hit one off Moyer that actually landed in the seats.
We're hoping that things get serious today, and you know what that means. Cardinals are able to score 6. Any size drink, just 50 cents all day tomorrow at your nearest On the Run at Mobile. This year, 6 is a serious number. Cardinals hoping to mount something on their way towards 6 runs. They trail 2-0 here in the third. Green is the runner at third, Descalso at first, and Alan Craig batting in the second spot here tonight for Mike Matheny, with a chance for some 2-out magic and the old third to first move.
So Mike Matheny, to me, he seems like he has the perfect demeanor for a manager. I learned a lot from the guys I got to play for. Yogi was my first manager. Billy Martin was my next. Earl Weaver was my third.
Wow.
Those 3 guys in consecutive years. I learned from all of them, but the calmer the guys were, the calmer it made me. And I was a high-strung individual. So, look, I like the guys like Matheny. Seems like he's very calm, not going to show a player up on the field when a guy makes a mistake. You know, he has a good demeanor. And, Ricky, think about it. Most managers in the majors are all former catchers. They know how to handle the pitching game. They got a good idea about the bullpen, the pitchers and catchers relationship. I think they got him a winner.
The 1-0 to Craig. Misses away. Both managers here in this series were catchers. Ned Yost in his third year with the Royals. Mike Matheny his first year with the Cardinals. Matheny, 4-time Gold Glove winner, and he went 252 straight games without making an error. Major league record. So he not only was a catcher, not only was good at receiving, but had the great hands as well. Line drive to right. Francoeur makes the play. So the Cardinals threaten.
Do I get to stay?
I hope you do.
Oh, I love it.
League All-Star ballot leaders. We normally give you the National Leaguers, but with Rex Hudler joining us here for a couple innings on Fox Sports Midwest, we're going to let Rex take you through the leaders in the American League.
Hey, why not? You know, most of these guys are all popularity choices for sure. But, you know, Derek Jeter's deserving. Kinsler and Napoli, those Rangers, they did a heck of a job last year. They're getting paid off for that. Hamilton, how can you go wrong with that guy in left field? But it looks like it's going to be a Rangers, Yankees, and mix in little Prince at first base. But you got Beltray at third. I don't know how it's all going to end up, but it's going to be another exciting game, especially being in Kansas City.
Pretty nice lineup right there.
Powerful. Hey, Ricky, I was calling you Norton because that's what we called you when we were teammates. Now, I learned that nickname when I joined the team. Now, why do they call you Norton?
Well, there's a few guys that call me that. There's a few guys that call me some other things, too, that you might not even know about.
I heard.
But, yeah, that was one that came from Ken Daly as we were roommates, and that's just something that he called me for some reason, and it kind of stuck.
Well, I'll go back to Ricky, but I like to call you Norton, like your teammates did.
You can call me whatever you want to call me. 0-2 to Brian Pena. Kyle Loesch has given up 5 Royals hits. Escobar and Gordon have both scored. 2-0 Kansas City. Ground ball. Turns it over on the right side. Matt Adams has been very busy. Out number 1.
Tell you, though, I'll never forget Whitey Herzog. You know, how loose he made you feel in the dugout. He would tell you fishing stories before the game. I would be a little bit tight and a little wound up.
Whitey's actually at the ballpark tonight.
I heard. I wanted to get in line for an autograph, but they wouldn't let me in. Because, you know, Whitey, I used to give him fits because I never stopped on the bases. He said, kid, would you stop on the base once in a while? You run into till they tag you out. But Whitey had a real calming influence. It was really neat to be able to see a manager like that. He was down to earth. He liked to hunt and fish and tell stories, and he knew how to communicate to his players.
No doubt. So happy that finally able to be a Hall of Famer, and I know he's happy about that and proud of that, as he should be, and grateful that I had a chance to actually be there in Cooperstown when he was inducted. And a lot of respect from both sides of the state. Whitey Herzog. Fly ball to center. Beltran getting the start there. Out number 2. Carsoup.com brings us our email the booth question, and we invite you to go to carsoup.com and send us your questions, and we'll try to answer them during the telecast. We love your questions. We can't get to all of them, but we sure do like to see them. 2 quick outs for Loesch here in the 4th inning. Working to the bottom of the Royals order, and Jared Dyson. Dyson with a base hit and infield hit. Drew the first blood in this series, and looks like he can run a little bit.
He's a speed guy. They're trying to keep him to concentrate on hit the ball on the ground, you know, stay away from fly balls in the air, although everybody likes to show a little pop in BP. They don't like to see that off of his bat. He's a guy that can cause havoc. So he's finding himself. He came into this year just 97 days in the big league, so he's still young. So then, Ricky, after Whitey, when he left in the middle of the '90 season, Red Shandies took over. We're in San Diego, and the first day Whitey left, here's Red Shandies. Fellas, the rat's gone. There's nothing we can do about that. All I want, I'm in charge now for a couple of weeks or however long. Just play hard. You boys give it all you got, and by golly, we'll win some games and have some fun. That was Red Shandies.
I remember that week because I got released that week. There's Whitey Herzog. Thanks for bringing that up. He hit a home run off me. Now you're reminding me of the week I got released.
Sorry, Ricky, but you know that man there, I love him for trading for me. To be able to wear the birds on the chest was quite an experience, and I know many of my friends and former Redbirds say the same things. Just to be able to wear the uniform was quite an honor. And unfortunately, for the 3 years I was here, we didn't get to win anything, but I sure learned a lot about baseball, and especially about the crowd and the community here. Wonderful atmosphere.
.251 games as a Cardinal. The years 1990 to 92. Again, you say that Cardinals record was not stellar during those years, but
because
11 home runs, 42 RBIs, not bad, right?
You know what? I was a part-time reserve guy, but I really enjoyed the National League brand of ball. I liked being a utility guy. I could play in every game. Now, you might have 4 at-bats in a week, but they all came that one at-bat. But it sure was very interesting to be able to hear the crowd when you hit a gapper and you're 20 feet from second base, and I heard the roar of the crowd. How could I stop at second? I'm going to keep going. That's the first time in my career the crowd ever worked me.
Base hit to right for the pitcher, Mazzaro. And we like to talk about it not being fair for American League teams that don't get a chance to hit a lot to be in interleague play, but we've seen a couple of times that the Cardinals have been hurt by the American League pitcher who can swing the bat a little bit.
Hey, that's Mazzaro, and look, that's his second hit now this year. He got his first big league hit in Pittsburgh in the interleague series a week ago, and now he's back out there stroking it. I watched him at batting practice, and Ricky, you used to swing the bat in BP too. It looked like you guys have a pretty good idea about what to do, especially with a pitch up in the zone.
Well, you can have an idea, but when somebody throws it at 95, kind of would change my idea a little bit.
Different than that 60-mile-an-hour BP pitch.
Agreed. Alex Gordon doubled and scored in the third. 2 runners aboard here for Kansas City. The daylight play, this time it's Tyler Green trying to sneak in behind Dyson. That's exactly how Carlos Beltran was picked off in the Cardinals' second. The daylight play.
Okay, with 2 outs, you know, one of the reasons Gordon's a leadoff hitter is that he's not a prototypical speed guy, but he's a guy when the lineup turns over, he's an RBI guy. He's a run producer. That's what they have him here. Gordon hitting just 193 with runners in scoring position. So this could be a big lift for his team if he could get a 2-out knock off a very good pitcher.
And Loesch has been good. The ERA very low for Loesch. Only 2 games this year that he's given up more than 3 runs. So he's been consistent. Cardinals outfield defense, again, it's not the A defense. Beltran's still getting his legs underneath him in center. Same with Craig and Wright. For Call not in the lineup, so Kyle Loesch is going to have to be very good tonight. So far, the Cardinals defense has done a good job.
Well, they're playing him a little shade to pull on the infield side. Gordon lately has been getting a lot of base hits to left field. He's been able to keep his hands back, wait on the ball, and utilize the opposite field. That tells me he's seeing the ball pretty well. But 3-0 here, why not give him the green light?
You'd let him swing.
Absolutely. You got a couple guys out there. You got a porch in right that Gordon can certainly reach. Give him a hack at it. Didn't want it because it wasn't dead red. Took a little something off of that. He knew that it was possible that he could be swinging. So pitchers are smart, Ricky.
Loesch certainly is smart. Throw any pitch at any time. He needs one here. The 3-1. And that is walk number 2 on the night for Kyle Loesch, and that is a month's worth of walks for Kyle Loesch. And here's how the Kansas City Royals have been building their club. They've been loading up with first-round picks, and they have some good talent in this group.
So, but you know, when you're young and you come into the big leagues, you're even younger. This is a man's game, and they're young men trying to learn it. So, look, it just takes them a little bit of time. They've been taking their lumps. They lost 10 in a row at home this year at Kauffman Stadium. But, you know, when you see that type of talent, and teams don't miss when you got number 1 picks like that. They're eventually the cream rises to the top, and that's what Royals fans are seeing now. This guy's starting to get there.
Kyle Loesch has some trouble here in the 4th.
Now Getz, he's a guy that's hitting .409 with runners in scoring in position. He's got a pretty good chance.
Loesch misses again. Loesch has been very good this year at first pitch strikes. In fact, up among the league leaders in that department. But he's behind Getz here with the bases loaded, and he's been behind the last 3 hitters.
Okay, then Mazzaro at second base. Be interesting on a base hit to see if Eddie Rodriguez, the third base coach, holds him or not. I'm not used to running.
There's a line drive to right. Craig is able to make the play about chest high. So Loesch avoids some trouble in the fourth. Holiday, Beltran, and Freeze when we come back. The Missouri Division of Tourism. Go to visitmo.com. Start planning your next Missouri getaway. This is the Bonne Terre Mine. At one time, the richest lead ore was located in Bonne Terre. And the amount of lead gave the town its name originally, La Terre Bonne, meaning good earth. Large mine remains open today, has 5 levels, walking trails, and a lot of fun. So Bonne Terre Mine, visitmo.com. Chris Carpenter has been working very hard this week. We saw him earlier today running the steps. He's thrown some bullpens and on an every other day throwing program, and visiting with Rex Hudler, who's in for a couple innings, for Al Raboski, who's doing the same job over for the Kansas City telecast here in game 1 of this 3-game series. And Chris Carpenter, your horse. Rex, you'd like to have him out there every 5th day.
Talking to your skipper, Mike Matheny, says he saw him throw on the side, and I said, how did he look? He said, you know, he looked crisp, he looked strong, and man, I just said, whoa, how good is that going to be? Well, what kind of lift on the team is that going to be? Bring him. I mean, that's huge.
Cardinals missing both Carpenter and Jaime Garcia from their rotation. Middle of the order for St. Louis is Holiday, Beltran, and Freeze.
And to be just 3 games back at this time of the year, perfect spot.
No panic.
None. Steady as she goes.
2-1 the count to the Cardinal left fielder. Roller to second, and Holiday makes it a close play as Getz let that ball get on him. Out number 1. Follow Fox Sports Midwest coverage of the Cardinals with MLB.com @Bat12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @Bat to 31826. Or you can visit Cardinals.com for details. Want to know the count to Carlos Beltran, who stole his 300th career base here tonight. So a big moment for Carlos. Joined elite company of small group of major leaguers with 300 steals and 300 home runs. And he's probably lined out to center field 300 times.
No doubt, but I'll tell you, is there a prettier free and easy swing than that guy? Wow, effortlessly.
Mike Matheny says that he has the best economy of motion of any player he's ever seen. He said he is the most efficient player at the big league level that he's ever seen. I wouldn't doubt it.
Economy of motion.
How about that? That's a Michigan guy talking.
Exactly. He's pretty smart. But that stupid hitting, though, going to that guy gets. I mean, that's twice in a row now. You can't hit it to him.
Didn't work for David Freese. 3 up, 3 down for the Cardinals. They trail by 2. Girls on the Run Day at Busch Stadium. It'll be July 8th. Buy your tickets at girlsontherun.org now for a chance to win a visit to the field or to the broadcast booth. Help support a great program for area girls, and you can enjoy a Cardinal game along with it. Cardinals trailing 2-0 through 4 innings of play. Game 1 of the 3-game series as interleague play marches on. Kyle Loesch has allowed 6 hits here tonight. Not as sharp as we've seen him. A couple of walks, and he'll work to the middle of the Royals order. Hosmer, Francoeur, and Moustakas.
I tell you, though, it's really good to see a quality pitcher make his pitches when he has to. Okay, that last inning there, they had a chance to really get to Loesch. A couple big hits there with 2 outs could have really put it into him almost. But he executed, he made his pitches, and he got out of the inning. Sign of a really good pitcher.
Noted for his control. We mentioned one time a 16-game winner with the Cardinals, 15-game winner in 2008, and he has retired Eric Hosmer. And first pitch strikes has been a big key for Kyle Loesch. There it is, first pitch strike, and there's Kyle's name among the league leaders in first pitch strike percentage in Major League Baseball. You see some guys noted for their control: Bronson Arroyo, Cliff Lee, and just 12 of 21 tonight, and that's the real story for Loesch. And there's a first pitch strike to Francoeur.
Well, it's amazing when you talk to pitchers and being a broadcaster, you get to go interview them and talk with them, and you ask them sometimes, what's your best pitch? Most of them say strike one.
Absolutely.
Got to get ahead in this game. Don't let that hitter know that you're coming in. He's got a better chance of smoking one somewhere. But I was broadcasting for the Angels when Loesch made his Major League debut with the Minnesota Twins. He was a hard thrower. Typical hard throwing guy that was trying to overpower, throw harder. And then when he got here, Dave Duncan said, look, we need to make some adjustments with you. It's not about how hard, it's about how easy.
Line drive handled by Tyler Green. So the Cardinals defense has been good. And Loesch has been more of a consistent winner later in his career after he lost that high fastball. We'll look at the career of Loesch. 6 games under 500 as a Twin. 5 games under with Philadelphia and Cincinnati combined, and he has been a winner with the Cardinals with that diminished fastball.
And the fact that he's got some good coaching. That's important. You got to be able to have somebody to help you get, be successful on that mound. And less is more. And you find out that you have to work harder to throw it harder past guys, and you get outs, but not as easily. More homers are hit off you. But you take a little something off, you get the ground balls to your guys. And when you had a guy like Ozzie Smith fielding behind you, you had to feel comfortable about just giving them a BP fastball knee high and let them make their outs, right?
And when you had Rex Hudler in left or third or second or wherever else you were all over the place. But you're absolutely right. You'd be crazy not to throw strikes with the Wizard. Anybody that can do a flip like that?
Yeah.
Let him hit the ball.
How special was that? Opening day, we got to see that here.
Base hit to right. 2-out hit for Moustakas. Hit number 7 for the Royals. This one looked like it may have been up a bit.
Okay, now Moose has been having some success on pitches away this year because they've been pitching him mostly high and tight. Now he's a pull hitter, but it's amazing how when a pitch is up and away, you don't foul that off. Lots of times hitters will foul him. He stayed on top and he served it out to right. He pulled it again. So, sometimes you don't have to hit mistakes down the middle. You can hit them wherever they're pitched, but you got to be aggressive.
Royals have been aggressive against Loesch, and they've also been very fundamentally sound. A couple of plays in this ball game are really the difference. Being able to steal bases, pick off runners, bunt well, move runners over. They've done it all. They've defended the bunt well. All the little things going the Royals' way, and that's why they lead 2-0. Pena pops it up. Beltran calls off Tyler Green to make the play. Saturday, June 16th, pick up a World Champions Pet Bowl for your furry friend. Compliments of Nestle Purina. They're available to 25,000 pet lovers ages 16 and older. Get yours by purchasing tickets at Cardinals.com. Warm night, downtown St. Louis. Hot temperatures all day long. Cardinals offense seemed to be getting hot over the last couple of days against the Chicago White Sox, but it's been cooled off so far by Vin Mazzaro, looking for his 3rd victory of the season. The Cardinals have managed just 3 hits so far tonight. It'll be Molina, Matt Adams, and Tyler Green, joined by Rex Hudler, who works with the television crew with the Kansas City Royals, and we're glad to have him. Former Cardinal, Played this game a long time, 21 years, is that correct?
Took me 21 to get my 10 in, but thank God I got my 10 in. I got a pension.
You want those 10 big league years. Every player wants that, don't they?
Very grateful. Look, a lot of places, a lot of wonderful people influenced me, my teachers, my coaches. Heck, Red Shandy's. Red's still around here, isn't he?
Saw him today.
He used to put bruises on my shins out there during batting practice. 70-something-year-old man then. He used to wear me out. I have a lot of respect for the guys who helped me get better to become a big leaguer for 10 years.
Red at the ballpark tonight and was here last night and still offers his words of wisdom to anybody that will listen. And I, for one, am one of those folks that listens.
And I listen to when he talks about catching crappie because I love catching crappie, and Red gets his fill. He sits in these mines out here and just has a field day with them.
Molina pops it up behind third. Escobar sees it. Tough sky here. But Escobar, there's Red behind John Mozeliak, the Cardinal GM.
Look at Red Dog. Red, you're a beautiful human being. The stories that he tells, Ricky, and when I was on the bench for the Cardinals and he would tell stories, I would get him going, and he would amazing his hunting and fishing stories and the life that he's lived and the fact that he came through his eye problem when he was a young kid and was able to be a big leaguer. It's amazing to hear his stories.
At an event with Red today for Ameren UE, and Red was telling the story about when he was first signed and actually slept on a park bench. And here at and then he went over to Union Station, was trying to sleep in the train station, and they kicked him out. And all he had was a quarter to his name, and he had to sleep on a park bench waiting for the tryout, which was the next day. And he said he guess everybody felt so sorry for him because of what he had done that they signed him. And
he's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Wow. I'm going to tell you, a lot of history here. Winning history.
Outstanding manager and player. Stan Musial, Enos Slaughter, Ken Boyer, Dizzy Dean, Sweet Lou. Big Cardinal names, and another big pop-up for Matt Adams. In comes Frank Coor. Again, tough sky right now. The lights haven't fully taken effect yet, and players having trouble finding the baseball. And another favorite of yours, Rex, I'm sure, Jack Buck.
Are you kidding? I love that man. What a motivator, what an encourager he was to me behind the scenes in the clubhouses. I always had a kind word, always made me feel good when I was riding the pine for 9, not getting a chance to play. He always had a word of encouragement, and not to mention the greatness in his broadcasting skills. Guy really means a lot to me and his family. Carol, beautiful human being.
Hard to believe that it was 10 years ago this Monday that Jack passed, and his legacy, of course, still lives on here in St. Louis, Rex, and can hardly talk about Cardinal baseball without coming up with the names Jack Buck and Stan Musial and Red Schoendienst and Bob Gibson.
You know, and I'll tell you another flattering thing too of the many was the fact that Mike Shannon and Jack Buck would give me nicknames. They used to give nicknames to guys. They called me Hurricane Huddler and Head First Huddler, and when I heard that, it made me feel so special that somebody that great would tag a nickname on me.
And it's been great to have you with us, Rex, for these few innings. Hurricane Huddler has been on our telecast, giving us some insights into the Kansas City Royals, and we just kind of wish you good luck the rest of the season and all your travels. And once the interleague play is over with, we'll just go back to rooting for the Royals again. How's that?
There you go, Ricky. But right now, I understand.
Yeah.
But Vin Mazzaro, he's cruising. Now that's what Dave Ireland, his pitching coach, wants him to do. Pitch to contact.
2-out hit for Tyler Green. We're going to flash back one more time, and this is Pascual Perez. I believe this is the same game you hit a home run against me. Ooh. He goes up and in on Mike Scioscia. Watch this brawl. This is fun to watch.
Oh, it was a beauty. I remember. I was out there, and everything was going on. I mean,
Gibson.
Yeah, now here's Gibson. Kevin Gross looks at him. He takes him down, okay? And he starts to get the submission hold or the choke hold on him. I'm standing right above him. He's got him in a choke hold, and I'm standing right there, and I heard Gross say, I got you, Gibby, you're not going anywhere. And Gibby goes, oh, okay, I tap out. And he tapped the ground, and they let him up.
How about that?
I still remember those brawls, man. That was when we used to really actually have brawls. Nowadays, they just clear the benches and they rub chests together and they kind of bump each other.
I'm just curious if you'd already hit the home run off me by then, or whether that happened later, because I might have tried to find you.
You know what, Norton? You would have better have eaten a good breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you're going to come after me. I'm going to tell you that.
I don't think I could keep up with you anyway.
But you know, you have been up here in the booth tonight and been such a gracious host, man. I really appreciate you letting me on with you, Norton. Taking Al's spot for a little bit here, man.
Yeah, it's been fun. Al, of course, is an icon here in St. Louis as well, and we just appreciate hearing from you. Appreciate all the great thrills that you gave Cardinal fans over the years. Good to have you. Loesch bounces this one foul. 1-2 the count to Kyle Loesch. The Cardinals trailing by 2 here in the 5th. Nice crowd on hand. There goes Green. Ground ball to the left side. Finds a hole. Green heads to third. No, he stops. Tyler Green did not pick up the ball right away, as that was going to be a straight steal. Green with 7 stolen bases on the season, and with the shortstop covering, Loesch was able to find that hole on the left side. Knows what to do with the bat. This is well executed. There's Escobar, the shortstop.
Okay, gets a good break. Now he peeked back. He saw the ball hit. I'm a little surprised he didn't just keep going to third base there on the ball hit that slow. But maybe he's thinking with 2 outs, why take a chance? I'm in scoring position already. But I think a good runner like him, he could have advanced.
And good arms in the outfield for Kansas City, especially Frank Coor in right. 20 outfield assists last year for Gordon in left. Green trying to get a big jump.
That's good Descalzo right there. Go ahead and get his first pitch. He was on it. He just missed it. Mazzaro's trying to come in there on him first pitch.
Ahead 0-1. Mazzaro set. Swing and a miss. That one at 93. 0-2 now on Daniel Descalzo, who has bounced out and walked.
Mazzaro executing where he needs to. Out of the middle of the plate. Stay on the corners.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the third base umpire and crew chief Dana DeMuth. Hud, we enjoyed the visit. Cardinals trail by 2.
Love it, Nord. Thanks for letting me come up here, bud.
All Tiger fans are invited to take advantage of special ticket prices and join us for pregame pep rally with Mizzou's Spirit Teams. Go to Cardinals.com/Mizzou Day for more information. 2-0 Kansas City. Top of the 6th inning. Al Raboski has rejoined us for the sixth. Kyle Loesch still in this ball game for St. Louis. He's given up 7 hits. And the Cardinals have just not taken advantage of opportunities.
Hudler told me you're calling uncle.
Oh, Hud is full of energy, isn't he?
Oh, like I said, when he was playing, I used to say he'd run the bases until somebody tagged him out.
He would. That's exactly right.
I mean, he's a good friend to both of us.
No question. Perpetual motion, Rex Hudler.
Did he tell you the story about when he first got traded to the Cardinals? What Ozzie said to him? Now, Hudler, we do things different over here. You can't be that kind of player. You know, this is the Cardinals. We do things professionally.
I'm not. Yes, he did.
And he sat there and he sat on his hands for like the first week or two, and then he went into Whitey's office and said, "Whitey, I haven't been myself. I'm going to be myself now." And Whitey said, "You're fine. You're fine." But he is full of energy. That is what Mike Matheny was saying. What you need on the bench.
Need somebody like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Rex would go sit down there. He wanted him to. Escobar strikes out. We are at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Beautiful view of downtown St. Louis. Rick Horton with Al Raboski. Interleague play. Royals and the Cardinals. Cross-state rivals. Jeff Francoeur, an RBI base hit. Cardinals have stranded a ton of runners in this game. The Royals have as well. Loesch has managed to pitch out of some jams. And so has Vin Mazzara.
Okay, what I've been impressed with these young Royals is they pulled off a couple little nifty plays and no more heads up than the Cardinals to this point.
Base hit to left. Dyson on base for the 3rd time. Moms and dads, Cardinals alumni kids clinics are coming to St. Peter's. That'll be June 19th and the 21st. Boys and girls ages 7 to 13 can learn baseball fundamentals from former Cardinal greats. For more info, visit cardinals.com/clinics. Love those clinics. Scott Terry brings in a lot of former Cardinal players. It's the number. Over 70 former Cardinal players live in the greater St. Louis area. And Scott corrals some of them to come out to those kids clinics and does a great job. Dyson runs well. Royals have executed very well in this game. Fundamentally very sound so far tonight. And another fundamental situation here. Bunt attempt is missed.
How about the play that they put in on the when Loesch was sacrificed, turning it into a double play. Lunging at the ball and get that bat in fair territory, knees flexed, and just let the ball come to the bat.
Mazzaro's 1 for 2. He had a base hit his last trip. Pitch out. Cardinals thinking something was on there, perhaps a hit and run or a stolen base. Not a big fan of the pitch out in most cases. How about you?
I am when it works.
Okay.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I get that.
And otherwise, I think you kind of look at it and say, I'm not a fan of it either.
Perfectly executed bunt. Again, the Royals do the job. Advancing Dyson to second. What's on tap, as always, brought to you by Budweiser. Tomorrow, the Cardinals and the Royals going at it again. Chen for the Royals, and Joe Kelly pitched very well in his major league debut. Be looking for his first victory. Royals and the Cardinals on Fox Sports Midwest. Line drive right at the first baseman, Adams. So Roche gets through 6, still trails by 2. Of the summer as baseball's greatest stars battle for home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with the 2012 MLB All-Star Game. It's Tuesday, July 10th at 6:30 on Fox. Game's biggest stars will be there. We've already showed you the American League ballot leaders. Here's the National League leaders. Very good players as well. Carlos Beltran still leading the vote totals in right. Buster Posey has jumped ahead of Yadier Molina.
Yeah, not enough Cardinals on there. Nowitzki and Furcal have maybe one of the closest races at shortstop. And this weekend will be the final time you can vote here at Busch Stadium for the All-Star Game, but you can still do the online balloting.
All-Star Game, of course. A number of years ago, Bud Selig instituted, whether you like it or not. Some good things about it, others don't like it, but the game counts, and it makes a big difference for the two teams that end up in the World Series as it decides home field advantage for either the National League or the American League. So the game has certainly taken on big significance, and you're going to enjoy this year's All-Star Game on Fox. Greg bounces out. And what is this right-hander doing?
It just doesn't look like the same numbers that when you saw his numbers before the game. Of course, I don't think we expected him to throw 95 miles an hour. And he's kept hitters off balance, throwing enough breaking balls. Right there, this little slider, a little over the top.
Two quick outs for Mazzaro, and our carsoup.com email to booth question. And it has to do with the All-Star Game. Chris in Portland, Oregon. That's a long way to be a Cardinal fan, but way to go, Chris, from Portland, Oregon.
Well, I'm sure they're going to wear their current uniforms and not last year's Cardinal uniform. So Dave McKay will be wearing the uniform of the Cubs and Joe Patini of the Houston Astros. I'm out to check on their pitcher. You know, Ricky, his last start was in Pittsburgh. He first 3 innings, he just breezed through it. And then he got his first major league hit, and he had to run the bases and went right back out to the mound and immediately got in trouble and never got out of that 4th inning. So
he had 4 walks in that game, and he's only had 1 here tonight.
Yeah, he hit a batter, walked the guys, and everything else in that 4th inning. But he just lost it after running the bases for the first time in his big league career.
Probably pretty amped up about that. Getting his first big league hit.
Yeah, but I noticed today that when he got his second major league hit, in between innings, he took a long time in the dugout, very slowly walked out there and kept his composure. Didn't rush it this time.
Really speaks to the reality of all sports, how pace and what kind of tempo you have at going about your craft really matters. Even for something as simple as that, as to how you get your rest in between innings and how much you expend in terms of energy with your warm-up tosses. All that's part of it.
It really is. And you can see some pitchers will go out there and really just kind of fling the ball out there. There are 8 warm-up tosses, and then others use a great amount of concentration to get right back there. Not that one way is better than the other. It just depends on the individual.
Just have to know it works for you.
Yeah.
Cardinals still trying to figure out this right-hander. He's scattered 5 hits. Beltran strikes out on a breaking ball. That's strikeout number 4 for Mazzaro. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by AT&T. The nation's largest 4G network, AT&T, rethink possible. By O'Charlie's, 2 for $20. 1 appetizer and 2 entrees, just $20, only at O'Charlie's. And by Ford, the official vehicles of the Cardinals. This is how the 6th inning ended. A strikeout to Carlos Beltran. Curveball grip. Late break. That's the result.
Meeting with the trainers once again.
Still talking. Leadoff hit for Getz. That's his 2nd hit. And the 9th hit for the Royals.
So Getz just doesn't have much pop, but he's 2 for 4 today. Dropped down a perfect drag bunt, and then the solid single to center.
Getz came into the year out with 604 at-bats as a Royal without a home run, which is an all-time record for the Royals. Still looking for his first home run as a Royal.
Well, they're excited about his extra bases this year. He's got 7 in 33 games after collecting just 9 all last season. He had 6 doubles, 3 triples in 118 games last year. So not much power,
but there's some here. Hosmer, line drive, base hit to right. Getz is going to go to third. Craig, the throw there. Not in time. Hosmer's first hit of the night.
He's very young, and they think he's going to hit 300, hit 25 home runs and around 100 RBIs. Came up halfway last year, and very easy gets with his speed. Can go first to third. And with nobody out, Freeman getting ready in the bullpen.
Hosmer had 19 home runs last year for Kansas City. Very good young player.
Francoeur had 20.
Nice job by our home plate umpire, Alan Porter, tonight.
Yeah, knew that name from spring training, but not an umpire we're real familiar with. Francoeur he got to meet an umpire yesterday. He got thrown out of the game.
Little flare into center. Beltran has it. Going to show off his arm. Play at the plate. He is safe at the plate. Bang, bang play. Getz beats the tag.
Why is Hosmer still at first base?
He's getting a talking to right now about that very fact. But here's the pitch. He jams the hitter. And here's the result.
This is momentum coming behind the high trajectory. That's why he should have come home, and just enough to the first base side, and Molina has to reach forward, and he comes in the back door. Slides to the third base side and reaches around and tags. Home plate ahead of the tag. Good call. The umpire's right there where he can see the runner. And there you see the call, that view he sees, and makes a good call.
Cardinals had an appeal at third, thinking that perhaps Getz left too soon. A sacrifice fly for Francoeur, and Eric Hosmer should be at second base, and he's not.
Yeah, especially because there was such a high trajectory on that throw. There's no way they could have cut it off and got Hosmer at second base. So it does the Cardinals a favor. The double plays in order.
Not much of a lead for Hosmer.
Been a battle for Loesch a little bit tonight, hasn't he?
It has.
Giving up 10 hits, and frequently he's never given up more than 2 hits in an inning, but this is the 3rd inning he's had 2 hits. One inning he had 1 hit and 2 walks, but they didn't score. It's still competitive. We're only down by 3, so Cardinals are still within striking distance.
Pitch count at 91 for Loesch. Good changeup. We mentioned the appeal play at third. There's Beltran in center. Getz.
Now, he's still on the bag, so he did not leave too soon.
It's a good thing for him he didn't leave a split second later, since it was a bang-bang play at the plate.
Good camera work from our crew, as usual.
Good fastball from low. She's shown some good pitches, as you mentioned. And 7 innings and 3 runs is not the best of Kyle Loesch, but it's not a bad start. You'd hope to win some of those games.
This is Pena, but they have a great young catcher, Salvador Perez.
Tough play handled by Descalzo. The flip to Tyler Green. One more run for Kansas City. Time to stretch. On Sunday, June 17th, the Cardinals take on the Royals. Kids ages 15 and younger entering with a ticket will receive a collectible pennant highlighting the Cardinals' new manager, Mike Matheny, courtesy of Coca-Cola and Pasta House. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cardinals.com. Mid-America Chevy dealers call to the bullpen is the right-hander Roman Colon.
He was just brought up yesterday to the AAA and pitched in the big league since 2010.
Time for our AT&T trivia question. Who has the highest career batting average at New Busch Stadium with a minimum of 100 at-bats? I don't know this one. I do now. Carlos Beltran at 356. Cardinals with only 5 hits tonight.
Long pitch 21 games for the Storm Chasers. How about that? That's Omaha's team. Kind of reminds me about the Szentendre Sleepwalkers in the Hungarian Baseball League.
You're making that up. The Sleepwalkers?
Szentendre Sleepwalkers of the Hungarian Baseball League. They're the best team in Hungary.
At least they think they are.
Well, everybody else is. If they're sleepwalking and winning, what's everybody else doing?
Play a lot of night games there, Al?
No, they don't, because they don't have lights.
I'm sure they need them if they're sleepwalking. 2-1 to count to David Freese. Albuquerque Isotopes. That's one of my favorites.
Yes.
Soft liner to center. Freese got jammed, but he picks up his first hit of the night. Leadoff hit. Cardinals now in the bullpen of the Royals.
David, as you said, gets kind of jammed a little bit, but pulls the bat in, fights it off, and just plunks it into center field. This extends his hitting streak to 5 games. Colone's been around a long time. He's 32 years of age. He Started back in 1996 with the Dominican Braves. Has pitched with Atlanta, Detroit, Kansas City, Korea. Last year with the Isotopes in Albuquerque.
And he someday hopes to play for the Sleepwalkers.
I was telling you about that Salvador Perez, or Perez, whatever you want to call it, but he's a 21-year-old catcher, and they say he is just excellent at handling pitchers, and Ned Yost was telling me he reminds him an awful lot of Yadier Molina at his age.
Good compliment. Big hole on the right side. Fastball backs off Molina.
And he really said he thinks he's a better hitter than Yadi at 21, but you know, really the finer points of the game, calling a game, handling the pitching staff, you know, he thinks that, and Ned really put Yadi at the top of the class. And so it was the highest compliment he could pay for Perez and for Yadi.
Fly ball to right center. Both outfielders calling for it. A little too close for comfort there. Francoeur is taller, so he catches it.
Well, the one thing about these outfielders for the Royals, they're very good throwing arms. Francoeur has been the best since last several years at getting assists. Gordon he set a record last year with 20, and I noticed this year Francoeur has 6. The young outfielder Dyson has 3, and Gordon has 5 assists this year. So they like to show off their arms.
They'd call that a near miss at the airport, wouldn't they? I mean, they were about a foot away from each other when Francoeur caught that ball.
They actually touched wings.
No damage. Another fly ball. This one down the left field line. Curving foul, and running out of room is Gordon, but a good effort there. Gordon, the Gold Glove winner. Now, 3 Gold Gloves for Kansas City Royal players since 1989. The last 23 years, they've won 3 Gold Gloves. Gordon, who began as a third baseman, moved to left field and got the first Gold Glove since Mark Grudzielanek for the Royals. That was 06. Jermaine Dye won one in 2000. Before that, you go all the way back to the late 80s. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Hard hit to center. Back goes the center fielder. He's not going to get it. Up against the base of the wall. Eludes him for a moment. Oquendo sending the runner to the plate. We're going to have a play at the plate, and he's safe. David Freese scores. Matt Adams doubles to center, and it's 3-1 Kansas City.
Jose Oquendo always aggressive, and he sent Freese, and it paid off. That's the 5th RBI that Adams has had. It's our Nissan drive of the game. This went over the head of Dyson. Couldn't get to Karam, and that's the difference of David Freese scoring from first base. And he slowed down right there, and Oquendo always aggressive. He was kind of tippy-toeing around third, too, as he missed stride, but he gets in there safely. But how about last Friday night? Adams got his first pinch hit RBIs, got 2 then. He had the difference in the game yesterday. Drove in 2 runs and another run here tonight.
Looked as if Kansas City would have a shot at perhaps throwing out Freese at the plate. He had the misstep at second, then again at third, and there's the strong arm of Escobar, but just up the first base side.
You saw how strong-armed that Dyson had. Got that on the warning track all the way to Escobar, who was really almost at the edge of the infield grass.
Tyler Green 2 for 2. Just 192 with runners in scoring position this year.
Now it counts.
Matt Adams isn't exactly like Adam Dunn. Not a fair comparison. You just think just because they're both big guys and hit from the left side. But what you see from Matt Adams is a guy that could be having a bad day, but then with one swing of the bat, he does something dangerous.
Right.
And that's certainly what Adam Dunn does.
I think you're going to see a higher average from Matt Adams and a lot more contact.
Less strikeouts for sure.
On a really nice note, I want to wish Barbara Anderson a happy 75th birthday. She's at home in Muscatine, Iowa, watching this game. Never misses a game, Ricky.
Glad to have her here. Want to be here in person next time your Cardinals take the field? Head to StubHub, where it's easy to find the seats you want for the Cardinals in action all season long. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the St. Louis Cardinals. 42,001 here today, so I'm glad she's here, Al.
She's at home.
Oh,
in Muscatine watching. She's with us watching.
Well, we wish she were here. Green strikes out.
Breaking ball right off the. Started outside, broke off the plate. And Robinson will be hitting for Loesch. It's a big run out there. Needed a 2-out base hit. Robinson's had the most pinch hit attempts by the Cardinals, 22 with 5 hits.
Opportunity here. Cardinals have squandered a few. The Royals have actually left 9 on base. You mentioned Kyle Loesch. Decent outing for him. 3 runs in 7 innings. Closes the book on him, but could have been worse. Managed to minimize the damage. Setting up outside. Line drive down the right field line. This is fair. In front of Francoeur. Here's the arm of Francoeur throwing behind Robinson. But Matt Adams scores, and it's 3-2. Kansas City. Way to go, Shane Robinson.
Big hit for Shane Robinson. As we said, 6 for 23 now as a pinch hitter, but scoring Matt Adams, making this a 3-2 ball game. Ned Yost going to make a pitching change, going to bring in his lefty, 1 of 2. Here you see the ball just stays right up there. He's a high ball hitter, hits it in the right field, and Adams comes chugging on home.
Almost a misstep there,
right?
Cardinals have picked up 2. They're not done yet here in the 7th inning. Trailing by 1. picked up 2 here in the 7th inning. The lefty is Jose Mijares from Caracas, Venezuela. 27-year-old left-hander, 5'11", 245, came up with the Minnesota Twins. And he has been a guy that has been a workhorse out of the bullpen in his first year with the Royals.
He signed with them as a free agent. I remember a couple years ago, he was with Minnesota and had a couple decent years for him, and then they got a little upset with him. Thought he wasn't quite in shape.
There goes Robinson, but ball is popped up, foul territory. Hosmer one-hands it. Cardinals rally is over. We're through 7. Tightened up a bit. We're glad you're back with us on Fox Sports Midwest. It's time to go to John Kelly back in the studio with our Bommarito Sports Update. John? Thanks, John. The Nationals, been one of the hottest teams in all of baseball, along with the Yankees. The Nationals had won 6 straight. Rockies have lost 8 straight in the National League. The Yankees now with their 7th straight victory. Fernando Salas is the new Cardinal pitcher, and he's going to try to keep this game close.
Very interesting, Rick, when you look at the difference in these two bullpens. You know, Cardinals think they're starting to get things straightened out. But the Cardinals have a 4-11 record with a 4.31 ERA in their bullpen, where Kansas City is 9-9 with a 2.83.
Kansas City especially good when you look at the 9th inning and later in terms of their run differential. They're up among the leaders in all of baseball, and so you get to the 9th inning, and even without Soria.
How much big blow, their all-star closer that's out for the year, but Broxton's been doing a good job. Haven't got there yet. And they're feeling pretty comfortable with their 3-game winning streak. They swept the Milwaukee, and the last 2 games were come from behind walk-offs.
Emotional high for them.
Very much so. Walk in the 11th inning 2 nights ago, and then last night they came from behind and beat Oxford. So Salas has had 3 straight just scoreless outings since being recalled.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Jared Dyson has had a nice night. Base hit, walk, base hit. Has an RBI. Batting in the 8th spot. Carlos Beltran, the story before the game tonight. He had reporters all over him. First game playing against the team that originally signed him. And Beltran was really the story. It's so interesting that a young player like Jared Dyson becomes the story as the game unfolds.
Beltran 1 for 3, but Dyson 2 for 2 and a walk. Got the first RBI of this game.
Chris Getz has had a nice night.
That's 2 for 4.
Ground ball to the left side. Dyson flying down the line, but he's out. A Schnook's difference maker. We're going to give that title to Matt Adams. 2 for 3 on the night. Double, single, RBI, run scored. Very festive attitude here at the ballpark. Atmosphere is one of celebration. They're starting the wave here.
This will be Humberto Quintero, catcher we saw with Houston, and came over to Royals early this year. He was 0 for 3 last night. He's a catcher. It was a late spring training deal. And Quintero joined along with Jason Bourgeois from Houston in exchange for Kevin Chapman and DeAndre Tony.
Speaking of catchers, there's a couple of catchers that both played with the Milwaukee Brewers at one point. Ned Yost and Mike Matheny. Different uniforms, same team.
Remember the first time we went into County Stadium with Mike Matheny. Everybody connected with the Milwaukee organization just raved about the leadership, the skill level of Mike Matheny and what the class act he was. And you know, like way back then, people were preparing for his job today.
His job now is to figure out a way to get some offense. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Taco Bell. Live Más. Ted Drew's, one of my favorite places to go. I can't count the number of times I've been in that particular line right there. And those lines, they move so quickly, and everything you order is great.
We thank Ted Drew's because they bring us up the concretes once a week. And that's the day that everybody in the truck comes to visit.
I didn't know they did that. You guys hiding that on me?
Yeah.
Man, things you find out.
Yeah, but you could wait in line. We get it up here.
I did not know that.
Aaron Crow.
New pitcher for the Royals is Aaron Crow. University of Missouri product.
Big 12 pitcher of the year and the Golden Spikes Award finalist.
That was in 2008. He was 13-0 that year. He had a really good season last year out of the bullpen. You mentioned how good this bullpen has been, and he's part of that reason.
Big part of it. Selected in the first round, 12th picked overall of 2009, but he came out of Mizzou. He was selected, I want to say, about the 8th round by the Nationals, and then he did not sign in the 9th round. So in 08 it was the 9th round, and next year the Royals got him in the 12th pick.
Ground ball, base hit. Alan Craig. A hit to lead off the Cardinals' 8th. And he represents the tying run. Perfectly placed.
A lot of people think they get that high fastball by Alan Craig. And Chambers is going to pitch run for Allen. Potential tying run. Allen has only got 1 RBI on the homestand. That's unusual for him, but let Holiday drive him in.
Fastball in the inner half. Holiday doesn't like that call. Crow had more than a strikeout an inning last year out of the Kansas City bullpen. Holiday is 0 for 3. Wouldn't it be something right here if Matt Holiday gets into one? Snap throw.
Quintero is the modern day Yadier Molina. Quintero stayed in the ball game since Yadi, has all the records, but nobody strays off of Yadi or tries to allow him. So Quintero's got like about 12 pickoffs since 2010, where Yadi's got about 40 since 2004, but nobody runs on him anymore. And nobody will stray off the first.
Bit of a hanging curveball there. Good swing by Holiday. Just came off it a bit. Very shallow in center field is Dyson.
Playing towards right center. Big gap out on left center. Of course, Dyson has tremendous speed.
We've seen center fielders play at the top of the arch.
Right. I guess their thinking is that he can't get around on this fastball.
Fly ball to right. Dyson deep enough.
And played perfectly.
He's already stolen his 300th career base here tonight, playing against his former club.
But feeling good enough that, he's playing center field for, I think it's only the second time all year, isn't it?
I believe so. What would a home run do right now to this crowd? They are poised to explode.
Crow has been very, very good against left-handed hitters this year.
Base hit up the middle. Crow loses his glove. And I'm sure his heart's beating right now. Bullet back up the box by Carlos Beltran. 2 runners aboard.
Prior to that base hit, lefties were 2 for 37 since April the 10th, and for the year, only 3 for 39. So just a bullet right back at him, and how that missed skin, I don't know. Well, that would have been nasty off his kneecap.
Oh boy, glad that didn't happen. Lost his glove in the process.
Hometown hero. The hometown is ready again for you.
2 runners aboard.
Got a lot of motion. Crow, as he comes to the plate, he's got a high octane fastball, but the way he kind of humps up and jumps towards the plate, then when he throws that off speed pitch, it's kind of a blink there.
Oh, 2 to freeze.
Out of arm motion, and then there's a little slider.
Sometimes the game is won in the 8th inning, not the 9th.
More times than not, it is 7th and 8th. To the point now where there is some talk of possibly changing the save rule and allowing the official scorer to determine who gets a save. Not necessarily who finishes the game, but sometimes, like you say, you might. In this case, he put himself in this position.
Ground ball to short. Could be 2, and it is. Crow gets freeze to bounce into a double play to the 9th. They trail by 1. Royals have been very good defensively. Our Home Depot doing more on defense. Very nicely defended butt play.
And that was a planned play. As most of the time we talk about how you drop down a sac bunt, you push it to third baseman. But they had the third baseman in and then shortstop covering third. Here's Sam Freeman, who's appearing for the 6th time. And he's been kind of anxious and kind of excited to watch this young man, but it's been a while since he's pitched, hasn't it?
And what
June the 8th.
And what have you thought of it?
Well, I like the velocity. You know, he's got mid-90s fastball. He's got a changeup that, you know, is probably his best secondary pitch right now, and the breaking ball is a work in progress.
Key at bat just happened. Bottom of the 8th inning. David Freese, the batter. Crow, the pitcher.
Start him out for that breaking ball. Gets ahead in the count. And one there, and then he throws another breaking ball. And then he throws a breaking ball. Really wasn't the best one. He kind of left it on the middle half in, but David got on top of it and grounded it into the double play. There's Furcal, who did break his 0 for 23 with a hit last night, and they gave him the day off. Chambers stays in the game and plays center field, and Beltran moves over to right. Initially went out to right field, and I kind of said, that doesn't look right.
He pinch ran for Alan Craig. Cardinals with that opportunity in the 8th. They've now stranded 6 on the night. Freeman. There's a good start. Facing 3 left-handers here in the top of the 9th, trying to give his club a chance in the bottom of the 9th.
And in a 3-2 game, this is an important assignment. And he gets ahead again. So if he can do the job right here, Mike Matheny and Derek Lilquist gain a little more confidence in him.
Flare to left is a base hit for Gordon, his 2nd hit of the night. Just went with that pitch very well, took it the other way.
Looked like 2 fastballs, and then he tried to throw that breaking ball, and he was ready for it. And, nice piece of hitting. Just can't say much more than that. 0-2 pitch, and he has to go down and go with the pitch and lines it into left field.
Gets very good with the bat. Expect some kind of bunt here, perhaps. Maybe a hit and run, but first to move to first. That ball sailed on Matt Adams, almost got away from him.
One of the little tricks, if you aren't sure if the bunt play is on, you might ask the pitcher to throw to first, and Mike Matheny and staff will read the body language of the hitter to see if he gives away a bunt. Gordon was kind of in no man's land. He was fooled by the movement, but Freeman, kind of, I think he saw him look like he started to run and then go back and rush to the plate. And when you do that, usually the ball's going to be high.
Snap throw. And for those of you who are into college rivalries, yes, indeed, we have a pitcher of record right now from the University of Missouri and a pitcher of record from the University of Kansas in the game at the same time. Think that would be of local interest, Al?
Oh.
And our guy's the KU guy, Sam Freeman.
Might lose to Crow in size, and as good a velocity as Freeman has, he'll lose in velocity.
Snap throw to first, and he is out at first base. Yadier Molina picks off another one.
Like I said, nobody strays off the Yadi anymore. I believe that's 40. And Gordon argued that he was safe there. Look at the snap tag. And he is safe, but called out.
Hard to argue when you should have been out.
Yeah, that's it. Kerwin Dantley is our first base umpire. That is not Kerwin. Maybe it is.
Ground ball foul. Danley, the umpire at first. Dana DeMuth is the crew chief. He's at third. And Alan Porter's been our home plate umpire tonight. We like what Alan Porter's done. I think he's had a nice strike zone.
I think you're right about that. First time I can remember seeing Alan Porter behind the plate in a regular season game.
So a break for the Cardinals here in the top of the ninth as Gordon is picked off by Yadier Molina. A break for Sam Freeman. You better hurry. You better hurry. Jets can get down the line.
They thought Lorenzo Cain could run. You know, it's who Dyson is replacing.
Hosmer's up to 222. There's Jonathan Broxton, the closer for Kansas City. Hosmer at 222, which you'd say, well, that's not very good. But considering where he came from, he had a horrendous start. You mentioned it earlier.
They said even still, he's hit a lot of balls right on the nose and just is not getting much credit for him or any luck.
Hit 293 a year ago.
He hit 188 in April, 219 in May. Batting 300 in 12 games in June. And they think he's a 300 hitter with 25 home runs and about 100 RBIs. Potential.
Looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth inning, the Cardinals will have Yadier Molina, Matt Adams, and Tyler Green. And Rafael Furcal still on the Cardinal bench as a potential weapon. Probably the last hitter, one way or the other, for Freeman. Ground ball left side. Long throw for Green is low, and it's dug out by Adams. Nice play again by Adams, Molina, and Broxton when we come back. After the ball game, Missouri Lottery Cardinals live. John Kelly will be handling the job at the desk, and I'll be alongside. Look forward to breaking down, as we always do, tonight's ball game, and hopefully it'll be a Cardinal comeback. But if they're going to do it, they're going to have to do it against the closer with 15 saves, the former Los Angeles Dodger, big right-hander Jonathan Broxton.
Needs one save for 100 in his career. And he leads the AL with 14 saves since April 26. And since that time, he's only allowed just two earned runs in 18 innings. Against the Cardinals, 20 games, 1-2 record, 2.22 ERA, 5 saves, 4 blown saves. I mean, that's what the Cardinals need. If you can get on base, you pinch run for Molina because you can steal off of Broxton.
Molina 6 for 7 in that department, by the way.
I know.
Different circumstances, though. Just thought I'd remind you of that.
Leads all catchers with steals. I know that too. But right now.
And Rafael Furcal can still get around the bases quicker. He'd be one of those options.
Be the option. The only option.
Molina, Adams, and Green against Broxton here in the bottom of the ninth. Slider is high, 2-0.
Broxton signed with the Royals to be the setup man. Then Soria goes out for the year, and he slid into that closer's role and doing a good job. He's big, isn't he?
Sure is. He's always thrown hard. Ground ball left side, base hit, Molina. No, it's knocked down. Long throw, and they got him at first. Are you kidding me? What a play.
He was out, and what an outstanding play by Escobar. We've seen that before from him. Very, very good defensively, and Yachty was running hard all the way and just got beat by an eyelash. This looked like a sure base hit, and then the young shortstop comes in, knocked it down, picked it up, and then threw on the run. Watch here. Ball jumps out of his glove, and yet it actually might even quickened the pace, and there you see that he did get him out. Nice pick at the other end by Osborne.
Once that ball got loose, that had to be a hit, but unbelievable recovery by Escobar. Rex Hudler was talking about the throwing arm of Escobar. We saw it when he played with the Brewers. Very good glove man, and he made a spectacular play to rob Molina of a base hit.
Well, you know, and Betancourt, they're saying it's Betancourt again.
Oh, okay.
But he signed with them. We saw with Milwaukee last year, their shortstop. Signed with them, but he's like a utility player, and they say he just doesn't have the range to play short anymore. So Ned Yost trying to find time for Escobar to sit, just to give him a breather. Looked awfully wide.
Adams is 2 for 3. He has the ability to go deep. Behind in the count, though, 0-2 to Broxton.
Broxton listed as 6'4", 300 pounds.
I'm not going to argue that. When he first came up with the Dodgers, he was an outstanding 8th-inning pitcher. And there was talk within the Dodger organization that he just didn't really have the mental makeup to be a closer. He was more suited to be a 7th or 8th inning guy, but his stuff was incredible, and it took him a while to learn how to handle the ninth.
Sometimes after you lose that job and people tell you, well, this is why, this is your reputation, then you get a little point where you want it. It doesn't seem like you want to throw anything but the fastball. Decide the fastball in. How about that? Have you ever seen a catcher have to tap the umpire and say, I'm coming inside, move out of the way? Watch here, Quintero is going to go inside. Now he's telling the umpire, move back because I'm going to shift in. Supposed to be a fastball with a lot of sink on that one.
Sure did. Like he choked it a bit. 2 outs in the Cardinals' ninth, and it'll be up to Tyler Green. Ground ball left side. Escobar again. Off balance throw, and he's not going to get Tyler Green. Almost another spectacular play, and what a night he's had.
Difference was you have a speedy runner Tyler Green picks up his 3rd hit of the night. And Escobar knew he had to unload this one quickly. So this time he gets it. Watch how he throws his sidearm, slings it over there, and wide as Hosmer. But with the fact that Tyler slid head first, he could not react and get up and go to second base.
2 former Dodgers with the game on the line in the bottom of the 9th. Rafael Furcal will pinch hit against Jonathan Broxton.
He was 0 for 23, got a base hit last night. Mike Matheny finally felt like I could give him a little time off to rest him.
Good speed at first in Green.
Royals the last couple nights were down to their last out and then pulled out victories. Walk-off fashion. Can the Cardinals do that? They turn the tables.
Outfield a little deeper than you would normally expect for Furcal, not wanting the ball hit over their head. There goes Green. The pitch is high. The throw is not in time. And Green's headed to third. Off balance throw gets away. Here comes Green. He's headed home. Tyler Green is out at the plate. Green steals second. An errant throw sends him to third, and Green is thrown out at the plate with a bang-bang play. Aggressive base running. One more look at that play. Tyler Green headed home.
Going home right here. Took a perfect throw. And Tyler Green saying, you didn't tag me until I reached the upper body. Look at my legs. They come through, and it's bang-bang play. Alan Porter didn't have the option to look at that. I think he probably got it right.
Very close play. Good hustle by Tyler Green. Vin Mazzaro is our Budweiser player of the game. 6 solid innings. And the Cardinals lose a tough one here, Al, against the Royals.
Mazzaro finally gets his first win in interleague play. And these young Royals, they came to play in St. Louis. They taught the Cardinals a couple lessons tonight.
Hardly be more exciting finish. On to the post game. Cardinals lose game 1.